Good morning, guys. How's everybody doing today? Well, I guess it's afternoon now. Well, spring has finally sprung here in BC, thank God. Temperature today is, I think it's 12 degrees Celsius. I'll put it in the bloop over here, what it converts to in Fahrenheit, but it's definitely warmed up. It's a beautiful, beautiful day here in Kamloops, and I take this opportunity to upgrade the RV this year. So if you guys don't know, or you're new to my channel, this is our Grand Design Imagine 23 BHE, and it's been a great RV for us, but it's time to upgrade the batteries. We were using two 6-volt batteries prior to that, and it was working fine, but as you know, everybody's saying on the internet, and we experienced it, they just don't last that long. So an average lead acid battery lasts about 3 years, and the price has gone up on them. Like, I think right now they're $250 at Costco per battery, and you need 2 of them, so that's $500. Well, I got this battery from Renogy. It's 300 amp hours. Of course, it's lithium phosphate, and it was on a early spring sale for $900, and it's supposed to last you 10 years. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what everybody's saying. So we thought we'd give it a try now that the math is finally making sense. So because if you're new to RVs, you don't want to leave your lithium battery outside, both because it's cold and just the price of it. So normally your lead acid batteries go right here, just on the front of the RV, just underneath this box. I just put this box here, but normally they're right underneath it. And so I have to move our batteries inside. So I'll show you where I'm looking at doing it. There's absolutely no power on in the trailer right now. We haven't even de-winterized it. I'm just getting ready. I've got a surgery coming, so I want to get stuff rolling in the right direction before then, so I'm not scrambling last second to put it in. So I think it's going to take some time. So this is the master bedroom here, and you can see the bed's up, and that's where I plan on putting the battery. So just underneath there. And what I'm thinking is I'm going to run it right through the pass-through, bring the power cables up through the wall there. So part B of this purchase, and none of this completely is not sponsored. I did a pile of research on lithium batteries and what to do, is when you order this from Renogy, they give you a shunt battery monitor. So there's the shunt battery monitor, so that has to be mounted up there also, and it, by looks of it, it just clips into the wall there. So the nice thing about this is, on a typical trailers tell you lights. I think there's 4 lights, and you think it's like percentages, but it's not very precise. So with this, you get percentages that are actually set off the battery, but you also get amp hours. So if you use, like, if you know your LEDs draw 6, let's say 5 amp hours, then you know you'll get 20 amp hours out of those lights. Now, I'm not by any chance an expert. It's just the research I've done. So if I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. So let's take you around to this side here. So when we got the trailer, I right away put an inverter in, so all the plugs work inside, and that's my inverter system there. It's just one from Amazon, is a pure sign. You can see it's 2000 watts. It works really, really well. And I wish this was all before YouTube, but I put a transfer panel in to transfer the power. But I was originally thinking I was going to move this inverter inside also, but because I've got it wired in the panel and it's so clean right now, I think I'm going to leave it as is. So right or wrong, we'll try it and see what happens. The nice thing about moving it is you get to you get more room, right? But that side's the water side of the trailer anyways, so I don't think you want to put something there. So I think the first step is to pull out and do a little exposing. Now I should mention that, sorry for the sound here, that this is all new to me, so I'm not an expert by any stretch, so I'm just doing discovery and trying out the easiest way to run the cables. So I'm gonna pull this pass-through out and have a little look-see. I obviously want to make it as clean as possible. So there's the screws I'm just taking out here. What's behind door number 1? Oh. So that looks fairly clean. So I think I can just drill a hole and pop through this side with the cables. Now, I think the next step would be to follow this pipe here. Follow this pipe here all the way through to run the cables through. I think I'm just going to drill through this pipe over there after, so it's all separate. So now here's the cables for the trailer. Here's the cables for the trailer, and those are the ones I have to band. And see if they'll reach. So let's get back to her. I'm going to grab a socket and get some of this underbelly off and see where the cables come from. Like I said, I've never done this before, and I don't portray to be an expert by any stretch. I'm learning as I go. But I know I have to get those cables inside, so I'm trying to do the cleanest route I can at doing it. So we'll find out. Okay, so step 1, I think, is to get the underbelly off and see where the power wires feed from and where the junction box is. So let me just crawl underneath here and see what we got dangling. My flashlight. Okay, well, that's not that bad. So this here, you guys can see this, is the power cables for the trailer. And they look like they all start from right here. So looks like I gotta cut a couple zap strops and then just undo these cables and then route new ones up. Should be easy, they say. Buy a trailer, they say. It's relaxing, they say. Well, let's go get some wrenches and some wire cutters and get busy. Okie dokie, Smokey. Got some wire cutters here, and this is all the I added a battery monitor system for the tires, and this is just where the extra cables are taped up. This is Andrew's handiwork. It's basically a junction box, if you will. So that's what that looks like inside. So I'm trying to see if that black wire comes back in. It doesn't look like it does. So what I'm in this box for is I'm looking to see if I can just extend the positive negative battery off the terminals, but it looks like I'm going to have to do my own coupler to extend it into the trailer. So the next job I have to do is remove all those little bolts around the edge of the trailer and pull back that, I don't know what it is, plastic signboard basically, and find a way to snake the wires all the way through into that bedroom upstairs. These bolts just right on bolt, and then they have a big rubber washer on them, so it should be easy to get it off, but it proved a little bit harder than I thought because I didn't want to remove the entire underbelly, but it almost turned into it. Okay guys, so I think the next step here is to drill the hole where the cables are going to be coming through. So angle the dangle. So I'm gonna try right before we go far. Let's go see where that drill bit comes through inside here. Oh. My leg's starting to hurt already, so this might be a 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 part episode. Okay. So that is where it is there in the corner. That's actually perfect. So that's good. So the next steps will be trying to figure out how to get that wire through, whether there's enough room in that conduit to sneak another 2 wires through, or if I have to drill a new one. Here to pass the wires through, and then I use their grommet. Decisions must be made. Okay, let's drill this hole through into the cabinet. Nice clean hole. There we go. So let's, before we do that, let's just see if the cables will fit through there. So let me just get 2 of those cables. So the cables I went through, this is the cables there. They're 8 gauge, just from good old Amazon. So I'm still unsure about these battery wires. They say they're the right gauge, and they say on the package it's the right kind of wire, but they seem really like limp noodles, whereas the ones in the trailer seem really, really stiff. So that is still a little worrisome, but I thought I already had them. I might as well try them, and everything on the package says they're the right ones. So what I'm trying to do is squeeze it through that conduit that's there into the underbelly of the trailer, just so I don't have to drill another hole and then worry about grommets and all the other stuff. But that is really, really tight, so I eventually have to get a fish or a snake to kind of push it through to be able to suck it through from the underbelly. Decisions must be made. I'm going to put a snake through and see what it looks like. So I'm just going to stand by here, folks. I'm just going to grab a snake. So if you guys don't know, this is a snake. So just for snaking wires, just a piece of wire. That's all it is. So I'm going to put it down through the hole here. There we go. Let's see where it goes. It's not going anywhere. That's not good at all. Oh. So there it goes. Now let's put it all the way through and see where it comes out. Roughly right there. So let's go in that spot. And there's our snake right there. So we can pull the wires through. I think I'm going to pull, I was going to say pull both of them through. Sorry for the traffic. Spring's here and everybody's got their Harleys out. I think I'm going to do one at a time. That might come back to bite me later, but It's my decision, and I will live with it, I guess. Let's see what happens. Your job is to watch that. And tell me when you guys start to see it. Oh. Oh. Now, do I reef on it? That's not working. Hate to say it, but I think I'm going to drill another hole. Because I think that one's just too busy. Too busy. Part of me knew it. You know, it can never be that easy. So let's see. The thing is, I've learned this lesson because I would just drill here, but the frame starts right here, like the frame of the trailer. So I've learned that lesson where you don't want to drill outside. So maybe I should just go right in the right spot. Suck it up, buttercup. Let's try that, I guess. That's what I was afraid of. Now, if you guys are screaming, yes, I am going to use... I don't think I'm through all the way yet. So I am going to use some loom, so let's get this loom on it, I guess. Now, I'm hoping that I can put both wires through the loom, so. Now, you electricians out there, tell me if there's an easy way to do this, because I hate using this loom with a slit in the middle because it takes forever. Take my snake here and stick it back through the hole and then re-pull it back up. That might be the better way. Oh, there we go. And then take this like this. And then feed it back down through maybe. Yeah, it might be better. The ends are kind of getting stuck, so I'm just gonna tape the ends and make it like a missile. So it just guides kind of right through. Now, part B is I'm gonna have to drill a hole through this thing here to get in the bed, which is just aluminum, so it shouldn't be a big deal. I am going to put loom on there. I just want to get the wire through, and then I like doing these jobs, but my body doesn't like them.
Get busy living or get busy dying.
little later.
Hey guys, so after a short break, this hole was a pain in you know what to drill. This one here, just the wrong angle. So I'm just starting to put this loom on and then feed it through and then go from there. So let's get this loom on. This loom can be a pain too, but because this is a super small area to be feeding stuff through, and then got a camera in here too, so trying to get you guys the shots. So I apologize if I'm not showing it properly. If there's something that I missed that you guys are interested in, let me know. But this is going to be a multi-day project, I think. Just to move the inverter and all that stuff it's not going to be easy. There we go. Okay, so that's what we're dangling with there. So let's feed it through there. And then we're going to feed it down here also, so we get a good contact down there. So there's no way that we can get any chafing. And then this is wood, so we don't need to really worry about the wood end of things, but we'll stick these through here. I sure hope this gauge is right. It's heavier than what's in the trailer, but it just seems a lot more pliable, which kind of worries me. But I can keep an eye on the heat of it. So let's go see where we're at inside here. Make sure we're in the right spot. And there's our holes right there. And my plan is I'm going to spray foam that hole after, so just to seal it. We don't use the trailer in winter, but I might actually, while I got that cavity open, even rock salt it, just to get a little bit of insulation. Maybe it'll keep it a little bit cooler in the summer, I don't know. That's what we're looking at there. Okay, stand by. I'm just going to do a little cleanup here and then we'll go from there. Okay, so that's pretty much moving the battery cable. So I still got to hook it up underneath, but this is my next purpose. So this is the inverter cables. So there's our inverter right there. And I'm going to have to move it inside. So let me just get it unscrewed and get the cables unhooked. Now, me being me, I silicone the you know what out of everything, and it's like hurricane proof. So sometimes that burns you from doing a good job. But I'm a firm believer in do the best you can. So we got the remote cable right here, which is easy. We got some clamps right here. Now I put this on-off switch there. I was having problems with an inverter when I first put it in. It turned out to be two problems. It turned out to be part of my problem, and then I've got a battery shut off there. Part of it was me, and part of it was the inverter, so there we go. And there's the inverter. So it's a pure sine inverter, 2000 watts. So it won't run the air conditioning. It's not big enough for that. But for inside lights and for sorry, put it inside there. For us, the inside lights is perfect. So that's what she ended up being. I got her all cleaned up and the inverter moved. And there's the wire down there. So that I'm going to have to reroute back inside to power the panel when it's on battery power. So I'll show you how all that works after. But I'm going to clean up and call that day one. For reality, it's going to be day one. So I'll get back to you.